Eclipse. Chapter 1, 12 years later. "We're gonna get you, Shippo!" Kagome shouted as she and Kilala flew after a young kitsune demon child who wore blue clothing, had blue eyes, a short orange ponytail, and an adorable fluffy foxtail. "Oh no, you won't!" the little fox retaliated playfully as he ran, stopping when he reached the small lake surrounded by blooming cherry trees. It was also where 20-year-old Sango, who wore a pink kimono and a long green skirt and sandals on her feet, was washing clothes and bed sheets. "Ha! I beat you, Kagome and Kilala!" Shippo cheered as he did a little victory dance next to Sango. "Yes, you did," Kagome stated as she got off of Kilala's back when she landed. Kagome was almost 18 years old, and she had grown into a beautiful young woman. Her long, wavy raven hair went down to the middle of her back. Her big brown eyes were always bright and sparkly like the stars above. Her skin glowed with great health. She wore a lovely bright yellow kimono covered in light pink cherry blossoms, with a dark pink obi around her waist. She was always walking barefoot, and finally she wore a little bright orange and golden orb on a brass chain around her neck. Kagome then looked at Sango, who had her back turned to her. "Come on, Sango, come play with us," the raven-haired maiden requested, but Sango only shook her head, making her very low, long, dark ponytail sway side to side. "I can't, Kagome. I have to finish the chores, and you, Kilala, and Shippo have to help me, whether you like it or not. Now come and help me with the wash. You're way too old to be playing like a child," Sango stated firmly. Kagome sighed softly as she kneeled down next to Sango to embrace her. She knew Sango had been suffering greatly for the past few months, since her father Kai had died. He had been a great demon slayer who lived in a demon slayer village with his family. That is, before vengeful yokai found it and killed everyone in it, other than Sango, his young daughter, and Kilala, their loyal Neko Manta companion. After wandering for a few days, they came across a Miko retirement home, where little Kagome and her mother Ami lived, and after getting to know each other, the Mikos in the retirement home let Kai and his little family stay with them. Well, that is until the dark Miko Kikyo killed everyone in there, including Kagome's mother. But luckily Kai was able to save Kagome, Sango, and Kilala, who had all grown very close like sisters, and brought them all to the hermit Miko Kaede's temple to live and stay safe from all dangers. They were happy together. Sango had learned to become a strong demon slayer, wielding her father's boomerang bone, the Hiraikots, while Kilala was her partner, and Kagome learned to harness her power of spiritual energy, and with Kaede's aid. Happiness seemed to be there to stay in the rock pit they all lived in. That is until 3 months ago, when Sango's father grew ill and died. On his deathbed, he requested that Sango and Kilala protect Kagome, and that he wished not to be healed by the sun relic. He claimed he was ready to rest. Sango was devastated but respected her father's last wishes, and buried him under one of the largest cherry trees in the rock pit. After Sango's father had left the land of the living, Kagome noticed that her two best friends had become more protective of her, and Sango didn't seem to smile as much as she used to. "I know things have been hard with your father dying and Kaede being away for that exorcism, but your father wouldn't want us to stay sad. Just like my mother wouldn't want that for us either. So we must be strong," Kagome said in a comforting voice. Sango sighed, and she hugged Kagome back. "Thanks, Kagome. I'll tell you what, I'll finish up the wash if you play and sing for me." Kagome perked up at her words. "Deal. Does this also mean I don't have to do any more chores today?" she asked. Sango smiled and lightly elbowed Kagome in the side. "Nice try." She laughed lightly, making Kagome giggle as she picked up the mandolin that was leaning against a nearby tree next to Sango's Hiraikots. Kagome was not only a powerful Miko, but also a talented musician. She played the mandolin and sang. "Which song do you want me hear?" Kagome questioned as Shippo and Kilala hurried over to sit next to her with her and Sango. "I want to hear your mommy's lullaby. That's the first song you ever sang to me, and I love it," Shippo requested, making Kilala nod as she transformed into her smaller self and sat by Sango. Shippo had stumbled upon Kaede's rock pit 3 years ago after human bandits killed his parents and injured him. Though Shippo was a demon, Kagome loved him as a little brother from the start because of how cute and sweet he was. She was even kind enough to let the little guy stay and live in the rock pit and become part of the family. Despite everyone else's protests, even they grew to love Shippo as family. What about You Raise Me Up? I've practiced a lot and I think I'm ready to play and sing it in person, Kagome stated sweetly. Oh yeah, sing that one, Shippo exclaimed as he sat next to Kagome, who smiled as she positioned her mandolin and began to play, and soon she began to sing. When I am down, and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come, and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. Kagome's voice was rich, sweet, and clear, and it brought joy to anyone who heard it sing. After the song was finished, Kagome looked upon her 3 friends to see all of them smiling at her. Kagome, that was amazing, Shippo complimented as he clapped. You truly have a gift, Sango proclaimed, clapping as she, and as well as Kilala, nodded in agreement. Kagome smiled sweetly as pink blush rose to her cheeks. Thank you. I wish I could share it with the rest of the world, though, she trailed off sadly. Sango smiled and faded as she stopped clapping. Kagome, you know how dangerous it is for you to be out there, the Demon Slayer started, but the slightly younger girl cut her off. But we don't know. How do we know that Kikyo is really searching for the Sun Relic, and we don't have to hide anymore? Kagome questioned firmly. Sango sighed. You're right, we don't know. That's why you have to stay here until your father or Kaede says otherwise. Kagome looked down. But I'm not a child. I can protect myself. And not to mention in 2 days, counting today, I'll be 18, more than old enough to start my own life, she stated. Kagome, believe me, if it were my choice, I'd let you see the world and follow your dreams, but it's not my choice. It's your father's, and he wants you to stay safe. It was him who told your mother that this place would be safest if Kikyo ever happened to find us, said Sango. Kagome sighed. She had expected Sango to give her an answer, just like she always did when this particular subject was brought up. I'll be in the rice field if you need me, Kagome said sadly as she stood up, taking her mandolin with her as she made her way to the rice field on the other side of the rock pit. Oh dear, I hope I wasn't too hard on her, Sango said with a heavy sigh as she went back down to doing the wash. Well, I don't really blame Kagome for wanting to leave this place. She hasn't left it for 12 years, Shippo stated with a shrug. Sango bit her lip and sighed again. I hope one day, Kagome, you will be free from the burdens you carry, the Demon Slayer thought to herself as she petted Kilala, who was purring at her side to